What's up, everybody? Just wanted to get on here and share a couple thoughts about AI and I guess specifically how it affects music and entertainment. And I've been producing music since I was like 11, 12 years old on a little Tascam tape recorder. I had a buddy come to my house and we messed around with Suno for the first time about 4 or 5 months ago, and it literally blew my mind. I couldn't believe how good these songs were. When you type in a prompt, it takes it about 20 seconds to come back with a fully polished song. It's just unbelievable. And then that progresses. This is the worst that it's ever going to be, so it's just going to keep getting better and better. And then a producer might turn into somebody that instead of actually producing it with their hands or a computer, you're just typing in prompts at this point, and you're coming up with things in 30 seconds that are better than, what most people could spend 100 hours on. So then you think about, where does it go from here? Everybody's looking to not pay the next person. The producer doesn't want to pay the drummer to come in and lay down a drum track in a studio with expensive mics and gear, so he brings in the drum machine. Here's one right here. Don't want to play any instrumentation or hire any musicians? Grab a loop pack. Throw it in. I don't really want to pay to have a singer come in or deal with their emotions and thoughts. I'm just going to throw the AI singer on there and I'll generate a few melodies, a few words, and pick whichever one my favorite one is. A producer almost becomes more of a DJ and a taste chooser than an actual creator. They're just like, they let the AI make thousands of things and they just say, I like that thing, I like that thing, and I like that thing. Okay, these are the 3 songs that are going on my album, my second album that I released today. A lot of producers are excited about this, especially ones that haven't maybe honed in their skills. They can just say, I could just prompt in Suno and Udio, make great songs. I don't need to learn what an EQ is or what a compressor does or what proper mic technique is or how to record somebody or a drum set or play guitar. That's ancient history. What happens when these platforms bypass the producers? Bypass the prompt writers, bypass the creators. AI is already capable of making amazing art, images, video, movies with a small prompt and almost no input at all. Why can't AI write the prompts? Eventually, these platforms will have AI writing the prompts that actually produce the content, and not only that, they'll have teams of scientists in conjunction with AI scientists studying human behavior, saying, how can we get this person hooked on the screen for as long as absolutely possible? And they're testing different models and they're trying everything they can to suck your attention. The future might just be we become drones that the machines entertain. We just sit there and the AIs are just pumping out gobbledygook, as they call it, AI slop for our slop bucket. And we just sit there completely glued. We can't look away because it's the best thing we ever saw. The algorithm will learn exactly what we want to see and hear. It'll be like being locked into our own pleasure box through our little phone. And then once we get VR involved and a haptic suit, forget about it. People are going to be plugging into the pleasure machine. This obviously circles back to the book from 1974, The Experience Machine. In this book, you could plug into a machine and it would give you whatever desirable or pleasurable experience a subject could want. So once that becomes a reality, who's going to choose the difficulties and hardships of everyday life versus infinite pleasure in a virtual environment? So we're basically on the verge of this experience pleasure machine where we can be completely enamored in a virtual environment with AI that has studied us and been designed to know exactly what we want to see, hear, and feel, and maybe even smell, taste, touch. All that is coming. Then on the other side of things, back in the real world, AI is taking all the jobs. And it's really ironic that the first jobs that it's taking are a lot of creative jobs. We remember the Will Smith movie, AI, where he asks the robot, he says, can a robot write a symphony or paint a beautiful painting? And the answer is yes. The answer is absolutely yes. Better than 99.9% of people. As far as chess goes, there's nobody that can come close to any chess model. So it seems like the machines are able to do things better than everybody at everything. I don't know. Will they be better at everything? It's possible. We're on the verge of basically creating new life here. In a lot of ways, AI taking away a lot of jobs will be a good thing. I don't think anybody likes to be a sewer cleaner, or likes to, there's all sorts of jobs that people don't like to do that aren't pleasant, that they're forced to do to survive. If we could have robots doing these jobs, that'd be a good thing as long as those people are taken care of. However, you would need something like a basic minimum income or something that would allow these people to survive because the machines might outperform us in everything. And at that point, humanity has to make a decision. Are we going to let those people starve? Or are we going to give them the things they need for basic survival, housing, healthcare, things like that, And then what will most people do? They might just put on the VR goggles and fade away into the pleasure machine. So you basically have AI running the real world, AI creating an entertainment vortex to suck us in. So all we want to do is be plugged into the AI pleasure machine, and then AI is doing all the jobs in the outside world. What are humans at that point? And then these machines will be personalized to you. So it'll know what you do. It'll know what you like. It'll know what you respond to. It'll probably be tracking your eyes with eye movement cameras to see what you look at, where do your eyes linger, what makes you smile, what makes you sad, what draws an emotion. These machines will be able to entertain people better than other people. Now, sure, some people will take it off and they'll want to interact with the real world, but how many? How many people just come home, they work a job that they hate or don't care about, they come home and they turn on the TV the rest of the day, and that's the best part of their day, is just being able to veg out and get lost in the screen. And that might be most people. It almost makes you say, what is the point of anything anymore? The robots are going to handle it. What impact can we make? It's possible the future for humanity is to be entertained by AI while AI does everything. We get our food delivered by the drone, then the automated robot takes it, brings it to our laps as we're sitting in the VR pleasure machine eating, and that's all we do. So let's talk about if that's a bad or good reality. That's a great question. Maybe I like the experience machine. Maybe living in virtual reality is a better existence than the real world. In the real world, there's all sorts of ups and downs and pain and disappointment, betrayal. In the AI virtual reality, there's nothing but pleasure there for you. Now, sure, I guess it might get boring, but even then, it can figure out how to not be boring. Oh my God. If we start to get bored, like, it's too pleasurable all the time. I need some hardness to remind me that I'm human. I need some fails to complement all these wins so I really know what a win is. Well, they can just program that into it too. They can just program failures and hardship into the machine too. And you can have it fine-tweaked perfectly just for you, where it's the perfect amount of misses and the perfect amount of hits, and it hits that dopamine center just right. And you might not even have to tell it what to do. The machine algorithm will just learn. It'll just learn based on what you do. Maybe simulation theory is totally right, and we're just in simulations all the way down. Have any of you seen The Matrix? Imagine that they're in the real world and they plug into the Matrix, and then when they're inside of the Matrix, they find out that there's another Matrix they can plug into. So it's like real world and top of Matrix on top of Matrix. Matrix is all the way down, baby. And maybe in every simulation, we start off as humans and then we make AI and then we plug into the AI and that's the end of that cycle. You know, we see these repeating patterns everywhere in life. You look out there at a galaxy and the connections look just like the neurons and connections inside a brain. You look at the top view of a plane with rivers running through it, and that looks like the veins in a human arm. I guess the question for you is, would you plug into the pleasure machine or would you rather experience real life? We might be looking to the future where people are trying to plug into the Matrix. Everybody's like Cypher. When he puts the steak on his tongue, it tastes good, and that's all he knows. He doesn't want to remember any of the hardship, any of the bad things that happened in his life. Plug in, tune out. Now, I guess the moral question is that wrong or is it right? If the pleasure machine came around, I'd probably put it on. I like to experience as many things as I can while I'm living this life. So I would put it on and try it out, see what it felt like, see what it did. I'd be curious, wouldn't you? Now, I'd like to think that I'd take it off after an hour or two. I like to think that I'd want to live real life and make real life a great reality instead of depending on the virtual one. But maybe we're already in a virtual reality. I'm going to do some thinking on this and come back to you guys, because this is mind-blowing that we're this close to this experience/pleasure machine. Like, we are on the verge of this. Anyways, guys, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, come back and hang with me. I'm going to be talking, making music, staying positive. This is Max Ray Music.